Hard. Yeah, so starting lying down on the bolster, like we would if you were starting the yin class. Those who used to come to yin. So legs out straight, bottom a few inches away from the bolster, and then lay back on the bolster. If you need to put something under your head, do, but otherwise let your head go back. Normally I'd suggest supporting it, but for this I just want you to get a little bit of slight more opening in the chest and the front of the neck. Arms down by your side. Close your eyes, relax your legs. Close your mouth, breathe through your nose. And we're going to bring the breath in 3 portions, like we did last week when we were sitting up. So I'd like you to breathe into what feels like the lower third of your lungs, then the middle third of your lungs, and then the upper third of your lungs, so the lungs are full. And then exhale. Breathe in lower third, a tiny pause. Middle third, a tiny pause. Top third, hold the breath full. Exhale. 3 more rounds like that. Breathe lower third, pause. Middle third, pause. Top third, hold the breath. Exhale. Lower third, your belly rises. Middle third, your chest expands. Upper third, the breath rises to the collarbones. Exhale. Final round. Lower, mid, upper. Completely exhale. So palms, forearms facing the floor, on the floor. Elbows close by the sides of your bolster, close by the sides of your body. And as you inhale, push into your forearms, your elbows and hands, and arch the spine off your bolster. Lower it back down again as you exhale. Inhale, arch your spine off the bolster, pressing into your bottom and your head. And then exhale, lower it down. Keep going, a few more of those. Inhaling, even if you just lift a tiny amount, exhaling lower. So you're puffing the chest up by pressing down into your forearms. Exhale lower. 2 more. Puff the chest up, arch off the bolster. Exhale lower. Remember, bottom and head are staying on the bolster and floor. Last one. Once you're all the way back down on your bolster with your back, hands behind your head, and use your hands to lift your head. Look to your feet. Once you're looking to your feet, arms back down to the floor so you can press the rest of the way up using your arms to help you. Get right up on your sit bones. Bend your right leg in, cross it to the outside of the left knee and twist, wrapping your left arm around your right leg. Leave your bolster behind for now, so you can just put your back hand on your back bolster. And then start turning your head so your chin moves more in line with your back shoulder. And as you hug the bent knee, try drawing your bent knee more in towards the left armpit. Hold for a few more breaths, just feeling there's a squeeze in the abdomen as you exhale and twist. Really nourishing for the spine. Look forwards. And then undo that twist. Keep the leg bent. Just turn around to face you. And then you're going to cross the left leg, which is the one flat on the floor, inside your right leg. Now, for some of you, if the legs are really high, you just pop your bottom up on the edge of your bolster. So you've got your right shin crossed in front of the left shin. And rather than bringing your legs in really close, I want you to keep them away from you a little bit so that you can cross at the middle of your shins and then start to just hinge forwards a bit at the hips. What a lot of people tend to do with this is to cross the legs in really close because it's easier to tip forwards at the hips, but you're going to feel less. So have them crossed a bit further away. And as you tip forwards, it might only be a small amount. As you inhale, try and puff the chest forwards a little so the chest opens up. And as you exhale, just bend a little more at the hips. Inhale, puff the chest forwards, so you're going into a little bit of that spine extension. And exhale, hinge a little more at the hips. One more time. Inhale, trying to puff the chest forwards, your hips stay on the floor. And exhale, just bending that little bit further forwards. And then come up to sitting, staying sitting with the legs crossed like that. Relax your shoulders. Lower your chin down towards your chest. And lift so you're looking up. You don't have to send the head back far. Lower down, look to the floor, look to that gap between your pubic bone and crossed legs. Lift the gaze back up. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, gaze forwards. Take your right hand out to the side, lift the left arm up. In fact, take your left thumb to your left shoulder, and from there, straighten your arm up. Once your arm's all the way straightened up, lean over towards your right hand, soften in your right elbow, draw down with the right shoulder, and push into the left sit bone so your left arm gets longer. Come all the way up. Straighten your legs out in front of you, bearing in mind that I've turned, you probably haven't. You've still got the bolster behind. Bend your left leg, cross your foot to the outside of your right knee, and turn around to the left this time, holding onto your left leg with your right arm. Try drawing your toes up tall. Turn your chin round toward the back shoulder, and if the shoulder feels like it's hunched up in the way, that's a reminder to soften your shoulder down. As your head turns, it's moving more and more in line with the back shoulder. Your chest is trying to turn in line with that back shoulder. And you're hugging the knee in towards the right armpit. Just look forwards and then undo your twist. Keep the leg as it is. I'm going to turn around to face you. So the straight leg is your right leg. That's going to cross inside your left leg. So your left shin is the one further away. And again, if I show you from a side angle, we don't want the legs to come in really close. Try and cross them away from you a little. So your shins are in line with your knees. And then again, hands to the floor, lengthen up your spine and tip forwards a little at the hips. Inhale, try and lengthen through your front body as if you're trying to almost go into a little bit of that spine extension. And exhale, bow a little further forwards from the hips. Do that for 3 more breaths. So you feel your breath traveling from the lower lungs, mid lungs, upper lungs, and almost like when you puffed your chest up off the bolster, there's a slight opening and extension in the front body before you fold forwards. It's going to get you more into your hips. 1 more breath. On an inhale, come all the way up. And stay sitting cross-legged. This time we'll do a little head circle. So chin starts at the chest. Roll your right ear towards your right shoulder. Let the head roll slightly back. Don't let it fall too far over to the left. And then back round, chin towards chest. 2 more that direction. We're not looking to crank the neck or make it feel forced. Just nice light circles. Relax your jaw. When your chin comes towards your chest, change direction. Keep your shoulders relaxed and heavy. Move slowly so nothing's going to jar. 1 more circle. When your chin comes to your chest, pause. Lift your head back up to center. Take your left hand to the floor, right thumb to right shoulder, and straighten your right arm up as if you're drawing a line from your shoulder straight up. Lean over towards your left arm and relax your left shoulder down away from the ear. Push into your right sit bone more and get longer through your right side. Even feel like the top of your head is trying to reach longer. And then come back up to center and release your hand down. Lean back a little, release your legs and spin them round to the side. Come into a downward face, or actually, if you keep your bolster where it is, straddle your bolster first, so you've got it between your legs, and then come into downward dog, so you know you've got the bolster between the legs. Then up into downward dog. Blocks are fine there if you haven't got a bolster. Spread your fingers, push the ground forwards, draw the hips back. Big long breaths from your hands all the way back and up to your hips. Bend your right knee a lot, straighten your left leg more. Inhale, switch, bend the left knee, straighten your right leg more. Exhale, switch. Inhale, switch. Exhale, switch. Breathe through your nose, keep your lips gently sealed. Continue to switch the legs with each part of your breath. Each inhale, each exhale. Then both heels high as you inhale. Both heels low as you exhale. Both heels high as you inhale, then exhale, both knees to the floor. Pick up your right hand and step your right foot forwards to where your hand was. Shift the left knee back a little so you get a little bit lower in your hips. Keep your right hand on your right knee and start to turn toward the right. So your left shoulder and your right knee are closing the gap slightly. With your back toes tucked, push your back knee away from the ground. So we're nice and long in that back leg, and try continuing to turn the left ribs and the right thigh closer towards each other. Keeping the right knee in line with your ankle. Extend the right arm up and turn your chin up and look up towards your right thumb. Keep the left ribs and the right thigh squeezing towards each other so your rib cage turns toward the upward arm. Press the left thigh bone firmly up. Then bring your hand back down and step to a downward facing dog, taking that leg back, hips are up. Bend one knee, inhale. Bend the other knee, exhale. Inhale, swap. Exhale, swap. Inhale, both heels high. Exhale, both heels stretching back. Inhale, both heels high. Exhale, knees to the floor. Lift your left hand. Step your left foot forwards where your hand was. Left hand on the left knee. Shift your right knee back a little so the hips sink a bit more. Keep your hand on your knees. You start to turn your chest to the left. Right toes tucked and push the right knee away from the floor. Squeeze your left hip in a little because it will want to swing out. Squeeze your left hip in as you turn your right ribs towards the left thigh squeezing in, right ribs turning under. Float your arm up when you're ready. Turn your chin up towards the top arm, look up to the thumb. Watch out for the left knee falling wide. Keep your foot pressing flat to the floor, hip squeezing in, and right thigh pressing firmly away from the ground. Breathe through your nose, one more breath. Look to the floor, bring your hand down, take the left leg back to downward facing dog. Fingers spread wide. Both heels even now. You need to bend your knees, bend your knees. Back wants to feel nice and long. And then turn your toes slightly outwards. Walk your hands back and lower your bottom to squat. And you can put your bottom on the bolster initially for the squat. Bring your elbows inside the knees. And see if you can put more weight down into your feet and press so that you're hovering your bottom off the bolster, so you're getting more strength into your legs. And if your knees don't like that and you struggle with it, then keep the bottom on your bolster. And it might be that your feet aren't as far back as mine are. It might be more like here. And again, try and push into your feet. Lift your hips up if you can. And wherever you are, whether you're sitting on the bolster or you're off the bolster, put your hands forward and straighten your legs out. Turn your toes forwards. And at this point, we're just going to take the bolster off the side of the mat. Come onto your fingertips and bend your knees until your torso is parallel to the floor. So your back feels flat, your shoulders roll back, your bottom is low, and your feet are facing forwards directly underneath your hip joints. Get your legs strong as you stay bent in the legs and bring your hands to your hips. With a flat back, lift your head, lift your chest, push all the way up to standing. Once you're standing, I'm just going to turn to face you. Once you're standing, your feet are hip distance apart. Take both thumbs to your shoulders, stretch your arms all the way up, inhale. Right hand catches left wrist and side bend over toward the right. Inhale, center. Left hand catches right wrist and exhale over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, arms down, all the way down by your side, and feel your legs really gripping onto the bones inside, so you feel the legs are engaged. Bring your hands to your hips and turn your left leg out, heel to the inside of your right ankle, or lifting a bit higher calf, or lifting higher still, inner thigh. With your left knee turning out, bring your thumbs to your shoulders and reach your arms straight up and keep them there, palms facing each other, thumbs pointing back. Keep squeezing the muscles into your right leg bones, into your core, your spine. Feel nice and long and streamlined. Arms swoop down as your knee comes forwards and return your foot to the floor. Thumbs to shoulders, arms up, inhale. Catch hold of left wrist, exhale over. Inhale, center, catch right wrist, exhale over. Inhale, center. As your arms come down, feel the muscles of your legs, again, getting strong, present and pressing to the floor, turning your right knee out, heel to inner ankle, the calf, or inner thigh for tree pose. Press your straight leg against the foot, thumbs to shoulders, arms straight up. Feel the side lines of your body nice and long. Keep your gaze steady. Keep your breath steady, consistent in its pace. As you exhale, arms come down, knee comes forwards, and return your foot to the floor. Feet are hip distance apart. That's where the line of the two bony points at the front here are. With your feet hip distance apart, keep your hands on your hips. As you bend your knees, your hips are going to reach back. You want very slightly to feel like your sit bones are reaching back as if there's a chair behind. Thumbs to shoulders, and then extend your arms just in line with your ears, or maybe slightly lower, depending on your shoulder range of movement. Hug your belly in towards your spine to support the back. Notice how your feet are standing on the floor. See if they can stand evenly. 2, 1. From your feet, push all the way up. And then as your arms come down, step out wide on your mat. So you're taking the long line of your mat. Feet are about as wide as your hands when your arms are extended. Then bring your hands onto your hips. Inhale, open up your chest. Exhale, soften your knees a little and hinge forwards at your hips. Once you're parallel to the floor with your torso, put your fingers on the floor or blocks, and then try pressing your legs straighter by drawing your knees up the front of your thighs. For some of you, you could put your hands flatter. For some of you could start walking your hands back a little, keeping the legs straight, and let your head release. Roll your shoulders down toward the elbows. Press lightly into your hands and your feet. Come back onto straight arms and your fingertips. Rebend the knees a little. Torso parallel to the floor and shoulders rolling back. Hands onto your hips so you're strong in your legs. Hinge at the hips and come up with a straight back. Turn your left heel slightly wider, about an inch wider than the toes, and turn your right foot so it points straight out. And lift the right hip a little so it's level with your left hip while you bend into the right knee. Warrior two, open your arms and look over your right arm, chin trying to follow the line of your right arm, or trying to turn in the direction of your right arm, I should say. But then think of the back of your head trying to reach toward the backhand so that your head doesn't pop forwards. Right knee nice and wide. Feel the inner thighs spread wide. Turn your gaze forwards again and bring your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers and stretch your arms back, narrowing the gap of your arms. Knuckles long. And try and take your arms slightly off your back if you can. Keep your left arm there and drop your right forearm onto your right thigh with the palm facing upwards. And use your left arm behind to touch the back of your pelvis and lengthen manually using your hand. Lengthen your tailbone so it points down to your left foot. Once your hand has helped your lower back lengthen, bring your thumb to your shoulder and extend your arm in line with your ear. So your whole left side creates one long line. Roll your right shoulder down toward the elbow, away from your ear. Feel nice and long through your left side. Turn your chin underneath your armpit. Let the head drop ever slightly back so that you can just roll your eyes to look to your palm. Look forwards again. Bring your arm down by your side and straighten out through your leg. Feet turn forwards. Right heel goes slightly wide and turn on your left foot so it's pointing out. Hands to hips. Level the pelvis so your left hip lifts level with your right hip and then bend into your left knee. You take the arms out and chin moving in line with the left arm. The back of the head drawing towards your right hand. Nice and wide through the inner thighs. Feeling the left knee trying to stay wide. Turn your gaze forwards, keep the legs as they are. As your hands interlace behind, see if you can go with the opposite thumb and index leading and roll back the shoulders as your arms straighten, aim to lift them away from your back. Leave your right arm behind you, drop your left forearm onto your left thigh. Use your right hand to press your sacrum forwards and lengthen your tailbone toward the right heel. Lengthen your left waist as well and get deeper into the left hip crease. Thumb to shoulder, extend your arm in line with your ear, pressing into the sole of your right foot, all the way through the center of your body and out through the right arm. Chin turns underneath your arm. And then roll your eyes up the inside of your arm, look towards your palm, eyes rolling high in their sockets. Look forwards, take your arm up and push through the leg as you come up. Turn both feet forwards, hands to hips. Press into the outer edges of your feet, inhale. Exhale, tip forwards at the hips. As you come down, fingertips to the floor. Inhale, flatten out your back. And then as you bend forwards this time, if you feel okay with your balance, take your hands behind you, interlace your fingers and straighten your arms up toward the ceiling. Keep the legs feeling strong, engaging your knees up the center of your thighs. Notice which thumb is crossed. first and which one's behind. Come halfway up so your arms rest on your back, and then let your fingers come back down to the floor. Walk your hands around toward the top of your mat and pivot your feet round with you. Step to a plank position. That's where your shoulders line over your thumb joints and you straighten your body from your head all the way down to the soles of your feet. Then just touch your knees to the ground and bend your arms, lowering all the way down into your tummy. Forehead to the floor. Take your arms down by your side. Lengthen out your legs. Back of the hands on the floor, palms face up. Roll your shoulders back. Keep everything down. Hug the belly in and just lift your right leg. As the right leg lifts, feel the muscles in the back of the leg engaging. Try and keep the belly hugging in so that you don't end up just resting on your tummy. Lower the right leg, very, very straight as it lands. Keep it straight, and then the left leg lifts. Keep it reaching long. It's not pulling the hip with it, but the leg is reaching from the top end of the leg all the way down to the bottom end of the leg. Really straighten the knee. Belly hugging in. Lower that leg down. Interlace your hands behind your back. Go with the other thumb leading the way. And keep the shoulders rolled back. This time both legs lift, head and shoulders lift. And see if you can take your arms off your back. Knuckles towards the long line of your body. Spread out your toes and lift more up through your inner thighs. And then lower down, hands underneath your shoulders, push back to child's pose. Big toes touch together, knees about armpit level, lower down. Breathe down your body, down to the bottom of your spine. And then bring your knees together in child's pose. Forehead on the floor or a block and arms by your side. Let's have 1 minute there. Palms facing up. Relax your shoulders so they flat to the floor. Make your way up to kneeling. Bring your legs round in front. So taking your bolster or a block behind, and that's going to support your mid-back. You've got neither of those, a big, thick, rolled up towel to make a long tube, or a couple of cushions to make something similar. Keep your bottom on the floor and take your mid-back over the bolster, bottom stays on the ground. We did this one last week, actually, and the same applies. You can put a block under your head to start with. You can always take it out if you find you don't need it after a little while. And then let your arms go either out wide, slightly overhead, or fully overhead. Relax your legs. Feel there's a fullness to your breath. You might still be aware of the lungs from the lower, mid and upper, but join those 3 phases of the breath together so they merge into one long inhale. And try and expand beyond just breathing into your lungs, but feel like you're breathing your whole body. So we're going to divide that breath up now, where you breathe 1 into your lungs, 2 into your whole body, 3 into the space beyond your body. Exhaling. Maybe we'll dedicate that fuller third of the breath to breathing into your mind. So 1, lungs. 2, whole body. 3, breathe to the energy of your mind. And exhale, feel it all soften and calm and surrender. Let each breath move into those 3 aspects of yourself. The breath entering your lungs, entering the whole body, and flowing into the energy of your mind. There's a saying in yoga, yoga chitta vritti nirodha, which means yoga is the cessation of the fluctuations of the mind. So in other words, yoga is calming your mind's waves. And one of the ways we do that is through breath. So feel as you breathe that fuller third of breath into your mind, it's got the capacity to calm the waves, the fluctuations of your mind. Let that calmness spread as you exhale. Okay, and then if you bring your hands behind your head, support your head as it lifts. And then bring your elbows to the bolster so you can roll the rest of the way up. And sit for a moment, just pause there, be upright. And take one leg out wide. So you're straddling your mat long lengthways. And take your bolster in front or a block or both. And I might use both initially. And then let's go into a wide leg forward bend, toes flex up. Move forwards to where you feel is enough to begin with. Find the edge. Become still. And then just let whatever amount of time it is for that edge to dissolve, to move in a little deeper. The 3 principles: finding the edge, becoming still, and letting time and patience take you in deeper as and when. Let your eyes close. Breathe lungs, whole body, mind. Exhale. Every now and then you can apply a similar technique we used at the beginning, where you inhaled the front of your body nice and open, where we were puffing ourselves up off the support at the beginning. So just bring a little bit of the inhale forwards in your body so you get longer in your front body. Every now and then that's going to stop you from just collapsing. And then make your way up. Pause, sitting a moment. Hands behind the back of your knees to help them up. And then bring your legs back round so you've got the bolster behind the back of your knees. Lie down onto your back, make sure you're warm enough. And relax. Breathing lungs, tangible body, subtle body. Exhale. Maybe even taking that a step further. Breathing body, breathing mind, breathing soul. Exhaling. Let your breath go beyond just what you can see, feel and touch. Breathe body, breathe mind, breathe soul. Exhale. Let them blend together into oneness, into harmony. Stay longer if you can and would like to. Otherwise, bend your legs in, push the bolster away with your feet and turn onto one side. Up to sitting, your bottom lands. Hands to prayer. Bowing to your body, bowing to your mind, bowing to your soul, bowing to the energy that's within you, around you, and connects you to all living things. Bowing to all living things. The light in me bows to the light in you, and all. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.